In a quiet, isolated village in Israel, a local resident vanished without a trace. There was no body, no signs of a struggle, and no murder weapon left behind. Not a single person in the village could provide a description of what had happened. 4 years passed. The initial search efforts yielded nothing, and the disappearance slowly settled into a definitively cold case. Without any physical evidence to point toward a suspect, the person responsible remained integrated into the community, living a normal life just doors away from where the victim had once lived. Miles away, in a completely different village, a 3-year-old boy was growing up. He had a prominent, deep red birthmark squarely on his forehead. As soon as he was old enough to form complete sentences, he started telling his parents a highly unusual story. He claimed he had lived a previous life. He pointed directly at the red mark on his head and provided a violently specific explanation for it. He stated it was the exact spot where he had been struck and killed by an axe. A toddler was effectively initiating a homicide investigation, but the entire premise relied on memories of a supernatural origin rather than physical evidence. The boy named the specific village where he claimed to have lived. Deciding to test his claims empirically, his parents took him there. Upon arrival, the 3-year-old began navigating the unfamiliar dirt streets entirely on his own, moving purposefully without any physical guidance from the adults. He walked directly to a specific house and told the village elders that this was his former home. He then stated his past life name. Comparing the toddler's claims against local records, every detail the boy provided lined up perfectly with the missing villager's exact biographical profile. By accurately recalling historical identities, the boy established a verified timeline, shifting the burden of proof from childish imagination to concrete fact. The boy then led the village elders to another man residing quietly in the community. Approaching the man, the child looked at him and stated that they used to be neighbors. In front of the gathering crowd, the boy laid out both the motive and the method. He recounted a neighborly dispute that escalated until the man killed him with an axe. The suspect's face drained of color. He stood paralyzed in physical shock, realizing a toddler was reciting details that only the true killer could know. But severe psychological distress and the accusation of a toddler do not secure a criminal conviction. To move from suspicion to arrest, the boy had to provide undeniable physical proof. The boy instructed the suspect and the village elders to follow him past the village boundaries, leading them out into a specific rocky agricultural field. He stopped in front of a seemingly random pile of stones and declared that his corpse was buried directly beneath them. The villagers began moving the rocks. Digging into the earth below, they unearthed a human skeleton. This schematic maps the skull's bone fracture over a human head. The fatal trauma aligns flawlessly with the boy's red birthmark. Finally, he directed the group to the murder weapon's exact burial spot, resulting in the recovery of the axe. With the remains identified and the weapon recovered, the investigation moved beyond the realm of the paranormal and into the certainties of forensic science. Faced with the unearthed remains of his victim, the killer suffered a complete psychological collapse. He broke down in tears, offering a full confession. A disappearance that had stumped authorities for 4 years was finally resolved, not through standard police work, but by the victim returning to identify his own killer. Earthly justice requires physical evidence, yet this anomaly presents a scenario where memory outlasts death, allowing a victim to return and ensure the truth does not stay buried.